Good morning. I just finished reading the book of Revelation, and frankly, I have more questions than answers at this point. I had heard, from going to church and just having discussions with various people, that there was going to be a reign of Satan and the beast over the earth for a time, and then Jesus was going to come back and have 1,000-year reign, and then Satan would come back, and then there'd be this whole defeat of Satan into the lake of fire, with heaven descending down to earth. So that's like how the book of Revelation wraps up and the Bible ends. But in here it talks about how there is going to be this new Jerusalem where it's just a massive city where God and Jesus will reign, and there will be gates with angels as guards. And as I'm reading that, I'm thinking like, why does there need to be gates, and why do there need to be guards? What are we guarding from? Like, if heaven's supposed to be this perfect place. And so the questions that pop up for me are, when we die and we go to heaven, is that heaven going to be temporary, in the sense that we'll be in this other place for a time until Jesus comes back and brings heaven down to earth, and then we live in this new place? And if so, then again, why the gates and the guards? Then it continues on and talks about how those that still live with sin essentially are not welcome into the gates. So then my next question is, who are these people? And does that mean that there's going to be some sort of like hell on earth outside of the gates as well? Are we all going to exist both inside and outside of heaven together in one place? Which is similar to earlier in the Bible, it talks about how there's like the great abyss, and how you can see onto the other side from gosh, it was Hades or something, but you could see across to essentially what was heaven. I have to read it more. Sorry, I'm not very well versed. I just started reading this thing. But it's like, is it going to be similar to that, where like you can see heaven but you can't get to it? Like there's no way to cross, and that could be part of like the eternal torment. It's just to be sitting there being like, oh, it's just right there. I can't get there. But then also we have the lake of fire, and it says that Satan will be defeated and cast into the lake of fire for a second death. So then the question comes up: are there like three different things that can happen after you die? You go to heaven or you go to hell, and then there's going to be a second version of those things. But do you end up in like the second heaven, outside the gates of the second heaven? What gets you to that phase? Or are you sent into this lake of fire where you have a second death? And does that mean you will no longer exist, like you're no longer eternal? So, yeah, those are just the questions that pop up for me, and I will certainly be reading through this again after I get through the rest of the Bible, because I'm hoping that I'll get some more context as I read through the Bible again. And I just hope that anybody that's watching this is reading the Bible for themselves. And if anybody, has some answers to the questions that I have, please leave a comment, because I would love to get some more information on this stuff. And I would like to get all of my information from the Bible, but man, there's so many smart people out there just full of wisdom that I know have probably put together some videos or whatever explaining some of the stuff. So I'm going to be looking to that information as well when I have time. But for now, I just want to dive into the Bible and try to get all the answers from there. So that's all I have for now. I'm actually going to go all the way back to the beginning, to Genesis. I've always been super interested in Genesis, and there have been a lot of podcasts and just clips I've seen lately related to creation and like the age of the earth and all that. So that's all really interesting to me. So I'm excited to get into that. Revelation was cool. It was very, very descriptive and just full of like just crazy stuff. So it'll be it'll be interesting to go back to the beginning and start fresh from there. So that's all I have for now. I hope you guys have an awesome one. We'll see you soon.